Say hello.
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 There's no one there probably. It's all right though. We're hanging out, right?
Hello.
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 Hello. I'm Steve the Book Guy. This
I'm
is my
Ashley.
wife, Ashley.
I'm Ashley the wifey.
The wifey. That won't be your nickname, but that is your nickname, but it's not your nickname. I wanted to call her the Bling Queen, but she's not into that one. No, not so much.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just not me.
That's fair. We'll let it happen organically.
Yes.
Right. So
Maybe anybody that gets to know us and watches us a few times will have some
will help
suggestions.
us with the name. Yeah. So we figured we'd just come on with we're trying to do this more regularly. I'm gonna try to invite Ashley on more and more often. This is just as much her thing as it is my thing, right? Hopefully the audio is coming through okay. Test 1 2. We have levels. See our levels.
I see our levels.
Right there.
I went and
You're
read.
close.
Oh.
No, red's bad.
I know.
Red's bad.
I know.
Test
understand that.
1 2. Anyway, Ashley has some stuff that she's going to show. I have our website pulled up, and I think we're just going to kind of hang out. She's going to show us some stuff, and we'll just kind of see. We're ADD, so I'm sure it'll be an adventure. Who knows? We'll get.
So buckle up.
We'll get to where we're going. I do have a Google, YouTube, and everything pulled up, ready to go, just in case. We are drinking coffee. And
I've already had all my coffee. I'm down to water right now. I'm down to ice water, but he did just make another pot of coffee, and he
I've got
is
my Carnage.
Yeah, he's already started on the second pot of coffee. I have switched over to ice water, but to be fair, my cup of coffee was also this big.
And she's half my size, so
yeah, so
you can do the math.
Yeah.
Let's play some music. I know Ashley can't hear it, but hopefully you guys can. I got to make sure I talk close to this thing. All right, so what do you have to show us? What are we looking at?
Well,
nice segue. See, that was real smooth.
I did. I liked that.
We've been married
I'm
20
scooch
years.
Scooch over. Talk now. Oh. And I was just like, well, yeah.
So, well,
we've been married. We've been married 20 years. This is what 20 years of marital bliss looks like, boys and girls.
She can read my thoughts. I can read her thoughts.
Explain some of my headaches.
Anyway, so your stuff.
Oh yes, my stuff.
Your stuff.
We're very excited about this. As you can see, there is a good reason why he wanted to nickname me the Bling Queen.
She has a lot of bling.
I do have a lot of bling.
Turn that down just a scotch.
And today I wanted to go over. This is literally
bigger screen.
This is literally. Thank you. That's very helpful. I'm a bit of a doofus.
It's okay.
So this is literally just a pinch sampling of everything I make and everything that's going to be available. We already have tons available on the website right now of my creations, but these
Stash Collectibles TV plug.
Yes, that's the one. Today, what I'm actually showing you guys is actually what's not on the website yet. So
this is new stuff, right?
Yes, you guys.
Well, this isn't new. No. This is new, but it's a new version of it. Okay.
Yeah. So this is all. You guys are kind of getting a sneak peek.
Yep.
So you guys are getting the extra love for listening to our weirdness this morning.
I'm like obligated to dance with you if you start dancing. I think that's a rule.
Yeah, but except that I'm super white, and when I try to dance, it's tragic. And when he's trying to mimic my tragic dancing, he's brown, and it looks amazing. So only one of us is ever going to be embarrassed with the dancing, and it's going to be this girl,
Yeah, I don't see you being embarrassed, though, so...
Yeah, I don't think I have that ability anymore.
I don't think you do either.
Anyway, so let's just go down to the things that I'm never embarrassed about.
Sure, the blingy stuff.
Which is my blings. So...
The not bling queen, go ahead.
So, actually, I'm going to have you pick what I start with. What do you want to start with?
I'm actually digging... So...
Just point to it, and I'll go ahead and start... I'll grab it and explain
I gotta give the reasoning for my decision because it was even in that nanosecond I thought it through. I'm gonna go.
Amazing.
Just a lot of coffee, lots of coffee. So I'm gonna go with the pop socket for I think what you'll know is obvious reasons. I have repaired my phone.
I should have thought of that and
more times than any one human being should ever have to repair their phone, and it's expensive to repair phones, and I'd like to stop repairing my phone. So I have bought a case. I should be good to go.
Who bought you a case?
I take it back. I apologize. Shh, where's my camera? The camera's over there. She bought the case.
Do you want to tell them why I instantly ordered you a case?
Because I sometimes struggle to follow through on things due to executive functioning disorder, and I don't know.
And your sweet little wifey poo sweeps in to save the day. Aww.
It's true.
Your broken, damaged, sweet little wifey poo sweeps in and fixes things.
Thanks.
I'm gonna go back to just making things pretty.
Pop socket.
Okay, yeah.
Pop socket, because I'm tired of paying the ADHD tax.
Actually, and I've learned to not call them pop socket because apparently that is a trademarked name.
Oh.
And
so we're gonna get dinged for copyright already?
Actually, they just look for it in type. So we are going to. These will be known as phone grips.
Fun grips.
Phone.
Can they be
like
fun?
ET.
Fun phone grips.
Ouch. Phone home.
Random aside, do you know what other big brand name that will get you dinged?
I can't say Velcro.
Right.
What do I call
They
it?
call it like
the grippy, strippy, fuzzy strip?
See, this is why we have a computer in front of us. You talk. I'm going to find out the answer to your question.
Oh, that totally threw me. Velcro. What are you doing to us small brains? Be
Maybe
nice.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm making stuff up. You shouldn't always believe me, right?
That's tragic because I usually do.
You should believe me. That's why I'm checking it. I'm checking.
This is evidence of why I believe him. He does do his
fact
homework.
checking live. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
You talk about that all
right. So phone grips. So I have. One that I just threw because I'm cool. So the classic one where it kind of looks like the suction cup. Little small pod people like me. But I do also have this other version of it that's more of a hinge. And I actually really like this because it's a much gentler open and close. It doesn't do that that fast collapse. You can kind of do that. And then you can also tilt it, open one side or the other to use it more as like the kickstand. So to hold your phone up. So these hinge ones are really good if you like using the phone grip on the back as a hinge, like as a... gosh, what do they call that? Just to make your phone lean on its side. So, like if you're watching TV and you put the pop socket out and it leans like that. There's a word that's really simple.
Stand?
Thank you. Oh, this is how this is going to go.
Apparently it is. It's fine. It's fine. It's the real you. It's raw.
Yeah, okay, so that's a great time to mention.
Segue.
Welcome to what we do, and big reason why we're doing this is we're looking for a growing community around, the nerd lifestyle, the nerd culture, also books, just anything that people are interested in.
We're looking for weird people that like to be weird, and we want to hang out with other weird people.
Maybe
that
off
do
the
fun
beaten
stuff.
path.
Yeah. Just if you've been called a dork or a nerd or the weirdo or the eccentric, that's who we want to meet. Those folks. We want to hang out with those folks because you guys are the most interesting.
Well, and that's
right?
who we are. So and we know that there's more like
weird.
us, and
the world is weird right now. So I think we're at a time where everyone kind of, we're just all kind of having to turtle up a little bit, and so this is one of the ways that we're trying to solve the problem of what turtling will do.
Well, and the loneliness will get to you, and we're trying to create a place that everybody can find a place there, with your personality, or
chill.
Introvert, extrovert, just, socially awkward, whatever you are that you feel like maybe you have had a hard time finding your flock, your herd, your tribe, your peeps.
So come hang out. We'll come hang out with you when you stream. So it'll be like
I promise you will always be genuinely
thing.
Us on this. We're never going to be like the pretty polished up. We're always going to just be a hot mess because...
I just got done cooking bread.
And wearing my cat apron.
She made me wear the apron. Like I was going to take it off.
He put up a fight. Lots of arguments.
I love. It's like verify. I don't know, but basically, you can't use people's brand name if they don't want you to.
Right.
Right. So, Velcro is the brand. What it's technically called is a hook and loop fastener.
Yeah, I'm
Which
not
doesn't
saying
make any
that.
sense because like
They're
also
also
just like stick.
But there also
that's
are
what
hook
it's
and
saying.
loop metal fasteners. They make those for clothes. Every girl knows that. That's how you fasten a bra. They're with hooks and loops.
That's what they call. That's what the internet.
Oh, see,
That's what Abraham Lincoln's telling me.
Okay, so that didn't help at all. So we learned something, and we found out it's still stupid. Just because you find the facts behind something doesn't always make it better.
I peaked so hard there
So,
on the audio.
Okay,
I shouldn't
well,
laugh. No
let's
laughing.
go back.
No laughing on stream.
well, we should not stream then. That's not going to work for us. That's like saying no losing focus.
So, by the way, speaking of which, see, was that a segue?
It wasn't supposed to be.
Well, it could be now.
It is now.
Let's use this opportunity.
Okay, so as of right now, I work with black and white phone grips right now. Those are just the colors I like.
Reach like
Yeah.
the broad
Just the
swath?
Swathe? Anyway. Oh.
Yes. Wait, it came back on? Hey!
Okay,
I did something.
our audio is back. Yes.
I'm not 100% sure what happened there. I'm going to turn it down. It's okay. Live. That's what happens when you're live. Here, you do your thing. You keep talking. I'm going to jack with things for a sec.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself. You're coming in loud and clear. I can hear it.
Okay. All right.
Go.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So for like the fourth time, I'm going to try to show you guys what these are. So the pop sockets, the phone grips that you guys know how those work. Just wanted to be able to show you guys these mixes. This is a really fun, bright pinks and purples. It's called Always Errol. We have a nice pastels, pinks and blues and light purples. Actually, it's more light purples, yellows, blues, crystals, called Whispering Winona. This is Playful Polly. I love this one because it's real. It gives me all of these sort of sugared wine and berries feel. This is Adventurous Allison. It's a black base, and then it's got these real kind of birthstone colors. So think emeralds and sapphire and amethyst. It's really beautiful. This is one of my favorites. This is Delightfully Dolly. It's got pinks and yellows and crystals and some sort of sand-colored, tannish colors. Daydreaming Daphne. This one is really dynamic because it mixes all the different kinds of finishes of the rhinestones. So you've got some that are metallic, some that have the AB effect, which is that multicolor sort of effect that goes on them. You've got the stark solid colors of the black and white. So I just really love this one. It's just super dynamic.
The black and white, and then this one over here.
Yeah.
Are my favorite mixes.
Yeah. This is Malibu Mindy. Again, I love anything pink. So anything that has a really dynamic pink. And I think that the colors that are mixed with this one, they're really complementary of each other. Yeah. And it makes me think of just like
fun.
It makes me think of like Boardwalk summer carnival candy.
Yeah, it's just fun and light.
Yeah. This is Marry Me Marilyn, and this is going to be great thinking like coming into like the wedding season. So thinking of like wedding gifts, things like that. So,
wedding time.
Yeah, things like that. Start thinking ahead on stuff like that and thinking if you need to get in orders for maybe bridesmaids gifts or, whatever it is you want to use these for. But this is Marry Me Marilyn, a lot of crystals and opal effect and some solid white in there. Just classic. And then the polar opposite of Marry Me Marilyn is Night Owl Natalie. This is all blacks and darks and like hematite color, charcoal. So this is a very fun dark mix. So these are the phone grips I have available as of right now. I have 6 more new mixes coming that are different colors from all of these. So there will be 6 more of the phone grips on the way on the website. So always keep an eye out for new. I guess I'll go to what's surrounding the phone grips next.
Do it.
This is, as you can see, license plate cover. I used to make these with the epoxy and the glitter, and they were one of my best sellers always. So I don't work with the epoxy anymore, so I found a way to pivot and do it with rhinestones. Nothing shall get in my way.
And they're strong too, man. Like we beat them up.
Yeah, these are on stainless steel base, so you can see the back. It's a stainless steel base. Mm-hmm. And what I really, really love about these, even more than the epoxy ones I made, is that these have this lip here that grabs, like you slide the license plate into that from the bottom, and then you screw it onto the top, so the wind isn't going to be making this flap on your car.
Right. No noise.
Well, no noise, no stones getting knocked off from flapping around. It's just, it's good and secure.
Yeah, it would beat it up.
Yeah, it would just beat the snot out of the poor thing. So you put your screws through here on the top, and then I have these button covers that will pop in over it. You put the screw through here. This clear part comes out. You pop the screw through there, screw it on there, and then you just pop this little cap on top of there. And that way you don't have any parts of it that are ugly. These I am super excited about. These are LED night lights. So they're just the clear acrylic. You can see the back here. The LED light is blue and it shines out from the bottom of the base here. So the light kind of comes up and illuminates this real gently. It's a real gentle blue light that comes out. But you can leave it plugged in during the day because it's LED.
Right, yeah.
So
it's
they
not gonna
take
suck a lot of juice.
it takes like no energy. It doesn't get hot. So it's something that these nightlights are great that you don't have to be constantly being like plug in, unplug, and just one more thing for you have to like run around and try to keep straight in your head and don't forget. And then if you do forget, trying not to panic. Right. So I figured these are great, and I wanted to see if I could rhinestone them, and lo and behold, yes, you can.
If there's a will, there's a way. You can rhinestone me if you wanted to.
Oh, don't tempt me. I get bored easily.
I'd be shiny.
They do that. They actually have
They
people.
do not.
They do it as a whole face makeup. And then they have to like really do a lot of work to get all those off their face, because once they're on, I mean, these things are, I don't know what adhesive they use to put them on your face.
Oh my golly God.
I wasn't kidding, and that's gentle. That's nothing compared to the ones I've seen. Look for full face rhinestone. It's insane.
Let me show
these people are wildly talented.
I don't know if that's something I would want to do.
And again, that's gentle. That's nothing. I've seen it because they don't have it on their facial hair.
What do you want me to type in?
Full face rhinestone.
Full face
rhinestone cover.
Rhinestone cover. Oh, wow.
Keep going. So those are just masks. No, keep going. Like, see that girl with the pink hair?
Look at this girl's face.
Yeah, see? And that's what a lot of them will do. And those are like, she can move her face around and talk and everything, and those stones don't move. They're not coming off. And then they'll go home. They'll go do these. Yeah.
No way.
Isn't that crazy?
She needs to move her text
And they'll
over.
do these huge videos of them removing the stones.
What? So what is that glue shit that she just...
I don't know the adhesive they use. And she's using really big stones. I've seen people... You'll find people that have done them with these little bitty rhinestones that I use to cover like my cups and stuff like this. Like the little bitty rhinestones. They do like patterns and full makeup application and everything. They do their eyebrows.
So we used to do theater, right? Back in the day. I wonder... Is it the same stuff like the Kelly? What's it called? The
KY jelly?
No. The KY jelly is something else.
They use that.
Wow.
They use that to affix the. They used to use that to affix the bows to newborns' heads in the hospital. They would use the gel.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, and still, this is nothing compared to the ones. The ones I'm talking about are absolutely intense.
3 hours. You know what? Let's stay on YouTube.
I want to find one of the kind I'm talking about.
Crazy rhinestone face
application. No. Wait, go back up. Okay, see that girl with the rainbow? That's kind of more of what I'm talking about.
This here?
Yeah.
Let's click it. Are we brave? So that's someone's actual face?
Uh-huh. And see, look, they'll sit there and scratch at him.
Oh, yeah, I can see the eyes. Oh, my God, that would take forever. Oh, no.
I want to see her do the
this
rainbow
is,
one.
A character from the game that has, not Flowey.
This one.
Two
look
little
at this.
cups. Anyway. Oh, look at the contacts too. Wow.
See, look at that. Look at those little rhinestones.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it looks like they come off pretty easy. Oh, she's got to get his.
You were saying. You were saying.
As she gets a scraper.
That's a metal spoon. Look at that. And it takes them a long time to get them off.
Oh man.
Oh, look at that one.
I think the eyes really sell it for me. I'd love to photograph somebody who did this.
I don't know what it is about the nose and the smiley face. I know that's supposed to be like a clown, but it kind of looks like a puppy. I keep thinking she looks like a puppy.
No, it does because like it kind of gives you the image. I think it might actually, because the nose is a black nose from a puppy. It might be on purpose.
I keep getting like cute little bling puppy vibes.
Oh, I can't do contacts.
I want to try those.
No.
Those colored contacts so bad.
All right, well, you sold me. I'm never going to do this. Maybe I do this. I could probably do this. Somebody, let's be honest. I'd try it.
It's not for Ashley.
It's not for Ashley.
It's not for Ashley.
Well, you'd be the one applying it, so.
Yeah, even that's not for Ashley.
That would take.
The hours and hours it takes to do that application. I just.
Jeez. All right,
no.
Let's go back to your stuff.
Yeah.
Or is that all you had?
No, I was in the middle of doing my night lights.
Sorry for that aside.
No, that's great.
I didn't know that stuff existed.
Yeah, it's crazy. So they light up blue. They are LED. You just plug it in and you can just leave it. It is LED and it's really little, so it's not eating up like any power at all. And
I'm not gonna freak out the dad is he gonna light everything on fire?
Right.
Because you know how we are.
And I think that they are light sensitive. I don't know if they're I can't remember if they're light sensitive and only turn on when the lights are off. But anyway, even if they don't do that, they take up no power whatsoever. So this is a blues with some really dark blue accents in there. This one's actually called Chill Out Charlie. So it's a fun just way to have a low power, easy nightlight plugged in all the time without it being just boring and ugly.
Right.
Trying to make and that's another thing that we try to work with here on the channel and on our website is
Make
that
spaces cooler.
Exactly. We try everything we do.
Guiding principle is
Everything we do is it's actually kind of a reflection of what we would do with our own space. Would I use this? Would I like this? Well, absolutely. Well, does this bore me? But I have to use it, but I wish I could make it more fun. Can I? Okay, well then there's probably other people that would like it too.
Right, and a lot of times, when I pick up books or comic books, it's the same kind of deal. Like you can't know every nice comic book or nice, obviously you have comic book keys and popular books and popular authors, but you can't know them all, right? So at the end of the day, when you're starting to venture into the unknown, I'm the same. I pick what I like, and the weirder the better. Know what I mean?
But and it's crazy because then that's one of the ways that people always have found their tribes is you
just
put yourself out there what you like, and then like-minded people, you birds of a feather.
What is it? Dr. Seuss quote? I might have to look it up. Dr. Seuss said, when you're looking for a mate, find someone who matches your weird.
Find someone whose weird matches your weird.
I have to look it up now.
It's something along those lines. So here's one that I wanted to do that had the Malibu Mindy again, so it matches the phone grip. But this I thought was just a lot of fun. This would be a lot of fun in a little girl's room, I thought. But I'm 42 and I would use this in my room. I love this mix. And then I have another one that I thought would be great for a bathroom. This is a mix that I made up myself. I call it ice water. And it's got just a lot of light blues, crystals, and really reflective. And it just made me think of glacier ice water. So there are 3 night lights, and then the last thing I wanted to show you, everything
for boogers.
Everything I have out here today was all practical use creations that I've made. So a lot of what I do like to make is I like to make things that are functional, in one way or another. And so today I wanted to show you some of the just a smattering of what some of my functional creations are. The new ones, sneak peek. They're not on the website yet. They'll be going up there this weekend, but
note to the now.
But sneak peek for y'all. And this, last but not least, is a tissue holder. So you've seen the square ones, that are out there. They've been around for ages, that you slide over the square tissue box. Mm-hmm. Well, this is to hold the Kleenex cylindrical ones. These started off as being just tubes that for tissues for people to put in cup holders in their car.
Right.
So I decided there's got to be a way to make these more fun, since this
prettier.
Yeah, and this is disposable, so I figured I didn't want to bling right over this because it's just cardboard.
Yeah, just throw it away.
And so I wanted something that would cover it, but was reusable.
Is that stainless steel inside there?
This is stainless steel, as you can see. So this is reusable and very sturdy.
What did you do? Cut a cup in half?
No, I actually found these blanks. And that people had also come to the same idea as me, that a cover over it would be really fun.
I have this image of you out in the garage on a grinder that we don't have, right? With making these cups, blacksmith helmet, just covered in soot. It's kind of hot.
Yeah, it's not me though. Sorry.
And then, so Matt, like a Rosie the Riveter type scene, right? And then you come back, exactly. Then you come back inside and you're still decked out, covered in sweat, grease, and then you're in this little tweezers doing
bling, 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 bling,
bling. comedy situation.
Just requires this long, vast explanation.
Long, vast explanation. Yes, exactly.
So we like Eddie Izzard. And that's an Eddie Izzard from one of his stand-ups.
Bam! I'm ADDing again. We have a signed book by him. It's cool. Anyway, finish your thing. I'll shut up. Maybe.
No, you won't. And we all know it.
That's fair.
So somebody else obviously had the same idea I did, which was these are great, but they're boring, and I want not boring. So somebody came up with making these stainless steel blanks for them, and as you can see, they're the perfect size. Just slides right over, and then all you do is just pull the lid off here like you do every other Kleenex box on the planet, and then you have your little tissues, and then this sits real pretty on your desk or in your car, wherever. I covered it with a Victorian-looking vinyl, floral vinyl. These are all glass stones. All the shiny ones are glass stones, so these are clear to let the vinyl pattern show through, but you see, even though they're transparent stone, they still sparkle.
Yeah, it's cool.
And then I did 2 different pinks, a very vibrant pink and then a very soft baby pink. And then I also added in flat back pearls. So I wanted to give it a sort of Victorian kind of feel, sort of classy and timeless.
So the question, the Kleenex box, those are like, you can get those on Amazon. Like
you can get these on Amazon. I believe you can also find these replacement ones on at Walmart. I've heard from people.
Bezos, give me money.
I have heard from people that you can find these Kleenex tubes on at Walmart. Yeah. I don't know what I was saying.
Walmart.
Yes, but the thing is you definitely do want to get these Kleenex brand ones. I've tried getting the off-brand ones because they were cheaper, and they're a different size.
Yes, okay, that was kind of my question. So if you do end up getting this product, pay attention to which Kleenex.
Replace it with what's in it.
Right.
Which is why I went ahead and got a tube of these to sell in these, so
at least get you going, and that way you can take
that
the
way
blank.
you have a reference to know exactly which ones to use. You don't have to keep coming back and going, what size was it?
Turn us down our audio.
And then I also did want to show you guys, you'll see the cup I'm using here. For my water, it is a rhinestone covered cup, and I do make these. I made this one myself. It has a glitter butt that I would show you, but I don't feel like dumping all the water out of it onto the floor. So I do also make these rhinestone full tumblers. I don't make as many of the cups as I do everything else, but I do make them. And you can find those always on our shop. These just take a lot longer to make, so
they do.
I'm not able to make as many of these, but we do have a really good selection of them already up on the site, and I do have a couple more that I've already started. So we will always have more coming up. These are great. They are double.
Don't tell her I called her Bling Queen on the site already without asking her. Now I got to take it down.
Yeah, you do. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
There are also some of my old epoxy and glitter cups on there too. I did used to make those, but I don't make those, and I'm not able to make those anymore. The pink one there is mine now. Yeah, that's mine. I bought my cup.
I will take it out of inventory.
So, but there are many other bling things on the website that I've made. Just to finish up about the cups. They are stainless steel, double-walled, vacuum sealed in the middle, which means the reason why that's so important is because it keeps whatever temperature drink you've put in there, it keeps it that temperature because it has that vacuum wall in there. That's where the temperature gets absorbed in through and then dissipates out through there. So the cups don't ever sweat. You're not going to have like an ice drink in there and then later on go sit down and have all that sweat coming down your cup where you have to have it on coasters or it gets your things wet. These don't do that. Yeah, so these keep, and you can do hot and cold. I have one that I drink my hot coffee out of in the morning, and it keeps it hot
like
until
hours. I've stolen her coffee around noon,
and it's still hot.
Yeah,
it's not maybe like hot by that point, but it's still warm. But it's also because I've drunk almost all of it, and it's, whatever. But it also keeps my ice water. At night, I'll put ice and water in this, and in the morning, I still have ice cubes in my cup.
Yeah, the stainless steel.
So these cups are definitely worth for what they do. And then I make them pretty. So those are the sparkles that I wanted to show you today.
I want to show you the Dr. Seuss quote.
You could call me the Sparkle Squirrel.
I could do that.
Sophie's the squirrel.
Well, man, like, let's figure
We'll
it
think
out.
of something.
Let's figure it out. So anyway, we are all a little weird, and life's a little weird. And when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. Is it weird to say we would love the chat when we get it? We don't have a chat yet, but when we do get a chat.
What?
So this is what we were talking about earlier, remember?
The Dr. Seuss quote? Yeah, the weird matching the weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would I say about the chat, though?
No, I'm saying, is it weird to say that when we get a chat that with them and fall in mutual weirdness? Let's all fall in mutual weirdness.
Okay.
But that's weird, though.
But
Is that weird?
I don't want to call it love.
What do you want
I
to
call it love with you.
Aw. What about all them folks?
Y'all are cool. I don't think they want us to call it love to them either. They don't know us yet.
That's true. What do you want to talk about now?
I did my talking. It's your turn.
I have to talk.
Yeah.
What do you want to
And
talk
now I
about?
get to interrupt you.
The whole time?
Absolutely. That'll be great. It's time for karma, bitches.
All right, so what can I talk about that's the least interruptible? What do you think?
Oh, stacking the deck, are we?
Well, if I know the game that's being played, I might as well, right?
How about if I just rise above? Beat that! As you spit out your coffee. I win. That was the win.
I don't know what I want to talk about. I wasn't prepared. I can make some shit up.
What did you bake today? Since you have your
I have an
on.
apron on. We were going to talk about our weeks. So what happened this week? What happened with you this week?
Nice try. You're first.
I did try to.
He think he's sneaky. He been married for a while.
Okay, that would have worked on anyone other than you, because you know.
He just insulted all of you.
I did. I'm sorry, but you would have fell for it, because you wouldn't have known I was doing it on purpose. Because you would have just. I'm not. I don't care. I'm bad cop. She's good cop. We're just gonna get used to that. I'm the mean guy. I'm just saying.
I make the sparkles and give everybody the balm afterwards. I go, it'll be okay.
Yeah. I'm kind of a doomer, really. So.
No, you're not.
Oh, you know what I can't talk about? We can't talk about this. Where is it? I could talk about that book.
Yeah.
Or I could talk about another book.
Well, what's a book you're reading right now? I know you're
No,
reading.
that's what we're talking about. The one I'm reading now.
Okay.
Even though it is cool, I'm reading the. Joe sold me that book, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles book.
Oh.
And then I'm reading. So this is weird, and it might be TMI, but I've got a new strategy for reading multiple books at once.
Multiple toilets have a book.
You got it, girl. I've got your Vietnam book and the upstairs one. The TMNT book follows me into the kitchen when I have to cook. I gotta go. I'm thinking about doing this Albert Schweitzer book for the downstairs bathroom, but I've been reading a philosophy book down there. And I even have a book
You
right
know what?
here.
You know what book I
I have
saw?
a book in the car, too.
Do you know what book I saw you have stashed in the downstairs bathroom for your potty
What?
reading?
Several.
Memorable quotes of JFK. I'm like,
Hey, man.
I was like,
I'm a
oh, Jackie boy is so proud. He made your toilet reading.
I like to use my time efficiently, I guess.
I'm not judging at all. My
I read
toilet.
a lot of books, though.
My toilet time is spent playing Mario Party
Yeah,
on my
don't
DS.
Don't judge. All right, let's talk about a book.
I'm
This book is
absolutely
kinda
a
sad,
child.
Though. Like, it's sad.
No, maybe we don't go
I was about to
sad
say,
vibe.
it's like, it'll kind of ruin
Saturday
the vibe.
morning, yo.
Oh, what do we want to talk about? I don't really have any. What other book? See, if we had a chat, the chat could tell us what to do.
Yeah, that would be fun.
You know, if I was prepared, I'd bust out that Doré Bible, but I ain't gonna do that. What about comics? I don't know. I'm not very interesting.
Well, what did you have happen this week?
I don't really remember. I went to the book place. That was cool.
Yes, you did. A couple times.
Yeah, so there's this place called Borgosaurus Books over by us. Just to tell you guys, and she already knows I tell her everything every day. So it's kinda
I've
weird.
been there.
And you were there, yeah. So they were doing when I originally went there, they were doing 25 cents and like a pound
For the books.
Right. So imagine, I mean, your average book probably weighs 8 ounces, hardcover, right? Give or take a few ounces. Paperbacks weigh like nothing, right? I mean, so we probably bought 3-4 giant totes worth. We probably bought 120 pounds of books. And I don't, whatever that math is.
Over 3 days.
Over 3 days. I went, yeah.
He went 3 different times. The first time he went with me. The second
and we
time,
didn't get a ton, or did we? We got a full tote at least.
Yeah, we got a good amount. And then the second time he went with our 18-year-old and our 10-year-old.
And they hated it, and they wanted to stab me at the end of it.
That went tragic, but he did come home with a bunch of books.
I did.
The last time,
70 pounds that day. I remember that.
The last time, Daddy went by himself.
Yeah, and then I came home with another like 70 pounds.
And that was the smart strategy.
I got some good stuff.
It's a really neat place, but it's completely different than any book place I've ever been before.
It is not a bookstore. I want to be very clear. I mean, it is.
It's like a book warehouse more.
And they do have some shelves, but yeah. So what they do is they buy books by the lorry load, and then they process those books. They're basically the bulk version of what I do. I like to sell collectibles. I like to sell books, not in mass, but like, I like to spend some time with the stuff. So,
yeah.
And neither way is wrong or right. I'm not judging in any way, shape, or form. But it was fun. So I got this one. Did you know this was a banned book?
I found that out when we were there. I've actually never read it. I don't even know what BFG stands for. I know they made it into a movie.
It's the Big Friendly Giant.
Okay, yeah, and I know they made a movie.
If you're a gamer, and my gamer friends already know what I'm going to say, it's the big beep gun. It's the big fucking gun. It's a gun.
Yeah, it is.
So I've not actually read that, and it is banned. So I am gonna.
I was looking up Cervantes. I actually know very little about him, and I've actually never read or ever seen any Don Quixote. I don't know much about it.
I was actually in this play, if you recall.
He was in this from the 16th century.
Yes, Cervantes was. This is actually one of the earliest novels.
It's actually a work. Often cited as both the first modern novel and one of the pinnacles of world literature.
The cool thing that I just found out about this is I thought this is one continuous story. No, I'm sorry. That's the Infernos. I'm sorry. Strike that from the record. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, Don Quixote.
I am Don Quixote, the man of La Mancha. It's the he goes crazy.
Oh,
He
that's
fights
the man of La
windmills.
Mancha?
Yeah, this is the man of La Mancha. Yeah, Don Quixote. So it's a tragic tale. I mean, hopefully you guys know what it is. I will probably, and I've actually not read it to cover, even though I've read adaptations of it. So I am going to keep this one. What else did I get?
I did know that Don Quixote was a very famous and widely studied book.
Yeah, this one's sad.
But important.
It is important. This one's called The Ghost Boys. It's basically... The premise is that the main character, I've not read it. I'm going to read it. That's why it's on my shelf. Doesn't seem like it's that big, but basically the young.
No, and it's real easy reading. So I mean, this really could be a in one sitting and read the whole thing.
The young boy was shot, and he comes back by a cop.
And he comes back as a
ghost, and just kind of it's the journey of him watching the aftermath of his shooting. And how that what it plays meant that out. Yeah. Right. Well, I'm not sure how it plays out, but that's what the premise is.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing is that his ghost meets the ghost of Emmett Till.
Yes.
Which, as we all know, is the young, the young man who was killed, which
really is what broke through for the civil rights movement.
Yeah. Well, it got a lot of people's attention for freaking sure. That mom was a
and because his
beast.
She made sure that his picture and his casket was open, and they. It made the cover of major magazine publications around the world.
This is my Don Quixote. I found this at Goodwill for like $2. Or however much.
El Conquistador.
I got some other stuff, but it was neat. It was cool. It kind of, a lot of it hit the shop. There was a lot of vintage sci-fi, so that was pretty fun. What else did we do this week? I know I've just been cleaning up, getting the inventory straight.
I think
playing some games, getting the streaming stuff put together.
We've just kind of really been spending this beginning of the year just getting our goals for the year all set up.
Right. We decided to really double down on this stuff here.
Yeah, so it's been we've been spending a lot of time trying to think of really what we want our brand to reflect, both on streaming, on the website, how we want to communicate, how often we want to communicate, what we want to communicate. So, just really spending some time trying to weed it all through.
Look at that. Peace or atomic war. So back in the
he was
30s, 40s, 50s, I guess it'd be the 40s and 50s.
Albert Schweitzer.
Bertrand Russell, Schweitzer, and there was a couple of them. It was like a whole group of nerds. But these were like the nerds of the time, and they really banded together to come out against nuclear weapons. I mean, and how right were they? I mean, like, just watching the news now. That's something we'll probably talk about here.
That was actually
in the news.
Actually, speaking of history with that, Albert Einstein said that was one of his biggest regrets in life was the nuclear bomb letter that he sent to the president at the time when they were working on the Manhattan Project. Albert Einstein and several other scientists working on it had actually written a letter to the president to say why they thought it was necessary and things like that. And then they went ahead with the nuclear program. And when Einstein and them saw how powerful and what it actually led to and it actually being used.
I love those end papers.
They actually had meant for it to be more theoretical and used as just a deterrent rather than ever actually being used. And then when the atomic bombs were actually used on Japan, Einstein was horrified. And he said that was one of his biggest regrets ever, was that he signed his name to that letter.
Yep.
So
I bet a lot of people regretted a lot of stuff back then. But
this
is why history is important, though. It bugs me so much that people, certain folks, I'm not gonna go into who, but like we can't be fighting the teaching of history, or it's gonna repeat, and it's gonna get worse because as technology gets worse, or the consequences from said technology also increase.
Exactly.
So we as human beings have to
Einstein
adapt.
As a young pup. He didn't.
I sometimes forget how old he really is.
He didn't always have the light socket hair.
Guy. Yeah, no doubt, young guy, right? That's neat. The whole little timeline.
But that's also.
I picked this up at the books.
That's what I was just about to say. This is also why, and we also think, even if this doesn't have, we saw this when we were looking at it. Even without
the dust jacket,
see the light, even without the dust jacket, see how it says Einstein embossed on it.
It's a neat book.
We just love.
It's not worth anything. It's worth like $2-3.
But we just love books like this, like for the
Couldn't
aesthetic.
sell it if I wanted to, yeah.
We love the aesthetic, but also, I mean, we really do think that it's important for information and for history and things like that to be known. So, a lot of the books you'll see, like there's a really crazy diverse variety of the books that we get, but if you really look at them, there's really a combining thread through most of them that we just value information and history and learning, and we want to make sure that's always passed on, so we champion it.
Nerd. Yay! So here's a question for you. Who's your favorite author?
Oh snap.
Whether it be a fun author or a smart person author, there's no wrong answer, right?
Okay, well, I've got one of each. I've got my fantasy, my schmut, mystery, suspense.
Oh! Is there anything electrical over there?
Why don't you go find out real quick?
No,
and get a towel?
I'm looking. We're straight. Keep going. Tell me about your stuff. I'll deal with this. Live TV.
Why don't you go get a towel?
I'm going to go get a towel.
We had a coffee spillage.
Yes, we did. I think we dodged the bullet.
Yay! It only got dumped right by our computers.
That's exactly why I don't let the kids have liquid in here.
Yep.
So who's your favorite author?
Oh, yeah,
Don't let a little coffee
Sorry, I went into mom mode, which is, must handle it now. And I don't trust anyone else but me to take care of it. Pride is fun. So, I guess, okay, my favorite authors, I would say the first author that really got me reading, because believe it or not, I used to hate reading. I know that probably to anybody who knows me now, that would seem bizarre, but I used to hate reading. My mom used to try anything to get me to read, and I hated it.
It shocked me when I first learned it about you.
Hated reading. It was like a punishment. And the first author that I ever found, I even remember the book. It was a book called The Ugly Duckling by Iris Johansen.
Can we go get it?
Yes. And so when I found that book, I was like in high school, and it just opened up my brain for whatever reason. I liked it, and it got rid of the roadblock in my brain for reading. So I started picking up more and more of her books. Now, I was a really slow reader. My reading comprehension, my ability to read has always been fantastic. It's just, I wasn't really fast at it just because I didn't practice it a lot, but I could read out loud. I've never had a problem with public speaking or reading out loud in front of people, things like that. So that was never a problem in school or anything. Just recreationally, it would just take me a long time to just sit down and read like just a novel or a book. It would take me a long time. I was slow at it. But the more I kept picking up her books, the faster and faster I got. And she does historical romance. She does mystery, suspense. And I've got countless of her books. So Steve found me a copy of a beautiful hardback copy of the first Iris Johansen book I'd ever read. And it's a first edition, right?
It's first edition for sure. I believe it's a first print too.
So of The Ugly Duckling.
I could show people how that works.
The copy I had before this was just a little paperback that I'd gotten from Deerberg's when I was a kid, which is a local grocery store chain to us.
She has a love-hate relationship with that camera.
I really do. And sorry, the glare on this is making it really hard.
Yeah, you gotta angle it. It's from that light there.
Oh, there we go. Okay. There it is.
There it is.
So isn't that a beautiful? So it's got the protective plastic going over the dust jacket. But this was the first Iris Johansen book. Not this exact one, but this was the first book by her. Oh, and it's signed by her. So he found this for me, got it for me, and I
treat you so good.
I lost my mind with this. So this is the journey that just finding the right book, the right author.
It's like unlocking a key in your brain.
It really was. Like, I wanted to love reading. I did. I loved reading like Garfield books, Calvin and Hobbes, and That's how I fell asleep every night. Like, that's, even as a kid, I loved doing that, and I would reread the same books over and over and over. It was never like the act of reading I didn't like. It was just nothing like a book was ever able to grab me long enough to keep my attention and keep me going. So Iris Johansen is my favorite author like that for fiction. My favorite fantasy author, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, okay, obs.
The folks here, the folks here probably don't know this about me yet, but I'm a huge Potterhead.
Potterhead.
I'm a huge Potterhead.
Secrets.
I am a huge Potterhead. So I have all the books. I have all the movies. I used to have an entire room here. The room that we're in now used to actually be...
here's your trophy.
It used to actually be a different... this used to be my Harry Potter room. So it is now the office.
That's why it's pink.
And that is why it's pink.
I promise.
It was my Luna Lovegood pink Harry Potter room. This is my Triwizard Tournament trophy goblet, and it lights up. So I used to have a whole room full of stuff. I had like all the pops. I had everything. I was just
literally all the pops.
I was mildly obsessed. But I would say that my favorite nonfiction writer is Bob Woodward.
Yeah, I can see that about you. You also have that entire stack of books.
I also have, and I don't have anywhere close to, I think I have a third of the books Bob Woodward's written, and all hardbacks, and I would say on that stack I have, maybe 8 of his hardbacks at least.
Something like that, 8 to 10, yeah.
I have one of the early copies of All the President's Men, which is how I fell in love with Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein.
Oh, we actually have something else with Bob Woodward, don't we?
Yes, we do, and Carl Bernstein. So I am also a huge history nut. I am a huge all of history, global history, American history, world history. You name it. I love history. My fantastic hubby also found me this.
I'm a modern day treasure hunter.
This is Bob Woodward. This is Carl Bernstein.
Young.
This is the young of them when they were, I believe this photo, I don't know for sure, but I know that this is about the age they were, maybe a little older, but I know that they worked together on all the President's Men. If you don't know who Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein are, and I'm sure you know the name Watergate, along with a particular Dick Nixon, old Tricky Dick, Rich Nixon, former president, and I will reserve the rest of the adjectives I have for him.
We live in the Trump era. There's nothing that you could say about Nixon that is not...
Let's just say the nickname for Richard was not lost on that being that man's name. Anyway, Bob Woodward was the original person who was called in working at the Washington Post. He'd only been there 9 months. His editors called him at home on that Saturday morning when it was normally slow, called him at home and said, hey, I need you to get down.
You want to work today?
I need you to get down to the Democratic National Headquarters. There's been a break-in, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, it was so unknown at that time that even Bob Woodward himself thought that they were just sending him to the local Democratic headquarters, and they're like, no, national. And that was when he was like, oh, hold on.
What's going on there?
Goes down and starts sniffing around. Some things, he was a reporter. He was also he's also a military vet. I believe he was in, I can't remember if it was the Navy or the Air Force. Bob, please forgive me. You are my hero, but I know you're a vet. I just can't totally remember.
I have a computer.
Bob Woodward military service.
Navy.
The Navy. Okay, yay. I knew it was the Navy or the Air Force, and I was almost positive it was the Navy, and I was right. Yay.
After Yale, Woodward began a 5-year tour of duty in the United States Navy. During his service in the Navy, Woodward served aboard aboard the USS Wright and was one of 2 officers assigned to move or handle nuclear launch codes the Wright carried in its capacity as a National Emergency Command post afloat. 1, I learned that that's a thing.
I knew that.
2, I didn't know Woodward. I mean, you have to have surely a high-level security clearance. And I guess when he speaks into kind of the current situation with all the documents,
he kind of knows what he's talking about.
He kind of actually has a frame of reference that it gives his word a little more weight, I feel. Do you know what? I didn't know that about him. Learn something every day.
So, Bob Woodward, amazing. Him and Carl Bernstein wound up working together on Watergate, and it was actually their stories in the Washington Post that actually broke the Watergate story wide open.
And they had to fight. They had to fight. It wasn't like, had they not fought, we never would have known. The world would be completely different right now.
They would have probably gotten away with it. Yep. And so
imagine what
that picture,
I'd read that comic book, by the way.
That picture is of Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, I believe, either while they were working on that story or not long after. So Steve also knows how obsessed I am with history, and particularly with Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. I do have All the President's Men, the book that they both wrote about their experience with Watergate. And so now I have that picture, and it's also signed by Bob Woodward. So I freaked out.
I'm trying to remember where I found that. I think I found that at an estate sale.
I think you did. You came home with it, and no, I think it was at an auction. It was an online auction. You found that because you told me about it.
I think you're right.
I'm almost positive it was an online auction.
I believe you.
No, I don't.
No, I do think
we convinced each other of each other's.
I think I picked it up at the that not at the abandoned church. Obviously, it's not abandoned, but
the church that creeps me out.
Up in Wright City.
Yeah. So.
Yes, I don't know.
It
has some like horror.
No, it just
small town.
It just looks kind of forgotten, and then it's like, here, come get your old stuff apparently. Out of, and I'm like, no.
Da-da-da.
So, yeah, so that's the history stuff. Those are the authors I like, and the reasons why I like them.
All off the top of your head, that's amazing.
I try.
So is it my turn?
It is. I'm getting tired. You've put all the talking on me.
I have put all the talking on you.
I know, and I'm getting tired.
Okay, so what's the question?
I didn't have one. Just it's your turn.
Well, we talk about the books. What's my favorite fiction author?
My butt's starting to hurt sitting on this stool.
I know, we sit
on these horrible wooden stools.
I know, we need to get little cushions.
And we even talked about it beforehand. We're like, we got to remember to come in and sit on something soft.
Yeah. And we just didn't.
And so I brought something soft and put it on my lap instead of under my butt, and now my butt's starting to hurt. So sorry, but ow. I have a really bony butt.
So here, I will talk. Do you want to put something underneath your tuchus?
I think I'm gonna have to.
Just
but
like I said, I'll talk for a second. You want me to talk? We'll talk about stuff.
it's
All right.
clunky to get up and out of here.
So my favorite, I can only probably my favorite fiction author right now because it changes all the time.
That's fair.
So
And that should. I think it should. I think that's signs of healthy reading and healthy exposure.
and it's hard to pick just one because books hit you in different ways,
At a different
right?
time in
Right.
life.
And so like I read Tolkien in middle school, it dramatically changed my life. You know, I read C.S. Lewis and other authors and as a kid and fantasy fiction and all that.
Well, Iris
But now I'm
Johansen
reading-
changed my life at one point. It got me
Right,
into
but
reading.
you can't say that Iris Johansen is
It wasn't a-
currently the author that you're
No.
consuming.
No.
So it's kind of a loaded question. So I needed a little bit more context. So I would say of all the books that I've read recently, within say the last couple of years, let's just say since the pandemic started.
That's the last couple years. Sadly.
No, it's not March 2020. It's March 2020, right?
We're gonna Twitch together, apparently.
So I would probably have to say, and I know this is cliche in the reading universe, but I did just read this book. I would have to say Vonnegut's Children's Crusade or Slaughterhouse-Five, which is
Slaughterhouse-Five.
I thought it was right here. Anyway, I thought I had
It is. It's behind your angry Irish dude. And our metal spork. These aren't just Taco Bell.
No, I have it. I
You
have
can
like a real
find
nice
metal
copy.
sporks. A solid metal.
I know. I saw that. I
A
was like, I have to
spork.
keep it forever.
I'm a Taco Bell-aholic and have been my whole life. And the spork, and we found the metal, and it was like, it's meant to be. And it's solid and heavy, and it just holds you in your hand perfect. I love it.
There you go. The paperback's my reader copy. This, I know everyone's heart just like dropped a beat because this looks like the first print, first edition. It is a facsimile, first print, first edition rather.
It's a beautiful facsimile,
It's
though.
beautiful. Yeah, you see.
I like the aged color that they chose.
the dead giveaway is that there's a barcode.
Yeah.
This wasn't written when there were barcodes, I don't think. So obviously Vonnegut is a huge author. This particular novel is about Dresden.
Should I tell them about what happened in Dresden and why Dresden is significant?
I thought you wanted to shut the hell up for a while. I don't care. Talk about Dresden.
No, by all means.
No.
You're all over it. Go for it, Sparks.
You want me to talk?
No,
you
I
don't
had
want
that
me to
coming.
talk.
I had that coming.
I'll do whatever you
That's
want,
fair.
baby.
No, that one's fair. I had that one coming. That's karma, boys and girls, and I just got a big old fat slice. Num num num.
I'm bad cop. Remember? I'm bad
No,
cop.
I was just dumb cop right there. That's all
So
good.
funny.
I'm
Anyway,
just gonna play with my sparkles.
you play this where I will talk about. So long story short.
Talk about life and history.
Oh, here's
tragedy.
Dresden here. I forgot I put these postcards in here. Look at this.
Dresden.
Talk about ADD. These are antique Dresden postcards. So if you don't know history, Dresden was firebombed and just
I wish we had the years.
and the
and
Allies
days.
did it. And so this
Allies,
novel,
Britain, you know.
Britain, I thought U.S. had a part of it, did we not? I'm sure we had a part of the supply chain. I'm asking you a question.
I don't remember if we actually. I don't think the U.S. was actually part of bombing Dresden. I can't remember, but
Yeah, but you don't have to be part of bombing Dresden to be part of bombing Dresden.
okay. I would love to see when these are actually dated from, because Dresden had to be completely rebuilt, but they rebuilt it to look almost exactly like it did before the
Well,
firebombing.
This is from
yeah.
1922.
So
this would have
this
been
is what
25
Dresden looked
years
like.
beforehand.
This is important. This is what Dresden looked like before the firebombing. And you can see how beautiful it is. Actually, most people in Germany ran and sought sanctuary in Dresden. I don't know if I ever told you this, but people believed that Dresden would never be attacked. It was the one safe place in Germany during the war.
Because they thought it was too beautiful to destroy. It was like Paris.
They thought that
essentially.
it would never be attacked. The Allies would never do that because the Allies threw a ring-tailed fit about the destruction in Paris and everywhere else.
And that was a false
So
assumption.
they thought that they wouldn't. And then also there was a false rumor that, like, the hopium that the people in Dresden were saying, oh, well, Churchill's aunt lives in Dresden, so the Allies, Britain will never bomb Dresden. So they had to completely rebuild Dresden after the firestorm. Like, it wasn't just bombed and blown up like you see Ukraine these days.
Is that a 99? August 14th, 99?
29.
Oh, okay. So this one would be 1929 then as well.
Yeah. So these are both paintings of and depictions of what Dresden looked like before it. So it wasn't just bombed. Like if you look at footage these days, you can see bombs like the aftermath of bombing, like in Ukraine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now that's just bombed and blown apart. Dresden underwent firebombing. Firebombing is a 2-stage bombing that they do where they drop the typical bombs that we're used to that blow things apart, but then right after that they drop an incendiary in there. And Dresden was made mostly of wood because it was a really old city that the wooden structures had just lasted. They had kept them up because the city was so beautiful. It was historic. So all they had to do was blow things apart. And then what they did the firebombing in 2 runs. They did it the first time when nobody knew it was coming. And then after it had been bombed the first time and then everybody ran outside, then they bombed again and bombed everybody that was outside. So it really was the first time that civilian bombing was really used. Terrible. And that was the goal. The goal of it was civilian bombing to reduce the workforce in Germany because a lot of the factories and the factory productions had been pushed to Dresden because it was supposed to get safe. So they were producing for the war.
So they made it a target.
They did make it a target, but the level of what they did to Dresden was unreal because the incendiaries were so bad that it caused fire tornadoes that literally sucked the oxygen out of people's lungs.
Look at
the fire shelters, it got so hot that when they opened them, it was just liquid. It was terrible.
So again,
this is how beautiful
you can't
Dresden
see. So
was.
we went from keep this image of this the thing on the screen. We went from that.
That's how it started.
To that, or maybe we could even show you that one.
I think this is a more accurate, like realistic version of them rather than the painting.
Yeah, sorry. I know you have a love-hate relationship with that, but yeah, that's look at the difference. Hopefully you guys can see that. I'm gonna go back to the monitor here. So anyway, this book is Vonnegut.
That's all the smoke from the fire bombs and the fires.
The whatever you expect this book to be, it's not.
Yeah.
Like I'm usually pretty good at guessing stuff, and not. I mean, everyone says that really, but the
tragedy.
It was so far away.
Well,
it was not only that, but just I'm talking about the writing style of Vonnegut, the way that he chooses to frame. He even says right out in the open, like, how do you tell the story this horrific in a way that people will read it? Because, from history, there was a lot of controversy, or controversy, if you're from the States, controversy surrounding, like, did it even happen?
The British Air Marshal actually got his nickname. He was Arthur Harrison. His name got changed to Bomber Harrison. And after Dresden, he basically had to kind of retire in disgrace.
Yeah, I believe it. So if you've not read this, and I don't even care if you're a reader or not, you'll be able to put this down. You do not have to be like I know it's Kurt Vonnegut, but you don't have to be like a smart person to read this. This will turn the pages for you.
He wrote it to be read and understood and easily consumed.
I will say, if you have ever read and it's weird to even say this, and I'll say this to you, and you'll go, huh? If you've ever read sci-fi, and you kind of have a willing suspension of disbelief, that will help you get through this book.
Yeah,
I will say that. Like there's some bouncing around but the framing device, and I don't want to ruin it because
your brain will want to reject parts of it. So if you can,
so it goes right.
So if you can, what he was like, that was perfect. What he was saying, if you can, like with art, the suspension of disbelief. If you can let go of any expectations,
so it goes.
Yeah, if you can let go of your expectations of it and trying to fit it into a neat little box of understanding, you just read it and just let it tell you what it needs to tell you.
So that's probably my, like, quote unquote recent serious author that I like. Probably the fiction author that really, like, your Iris Johansson. This was
yours?
mine.
Isn't that a beautiful copy of it?
Is.
I love that artwork.
And again, I bet your heart's dropped. This is not an actual first print. I wish it was.
But isn't it pretty?
It is a facsimile.
But there's our giveaway.
There's our giveaway as a barcode. But it's pretty and I like it. And honestly, if I had a first edition, either one of those books.
But still, look. The end papers are so
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, it looks good. It even has, I know, and then and on the front cover there was it was at a time like having that red sun was like a big deal.
Oh, for the color
yeah,
ink?
because the way they did the printing processes back then, it meant that they
Layers.
all had to go back through one more time. So that would have added.
Wow.
Yeah, because they had to do one. They had to lay the colors on top of each other like a lithograph.
I love too when they have included like the illustrations.
Yeah.
'Cause
And this
didn't
dude, Tolkien wrote
do
whole
his
language.
own-
I don't know if he did his own illustrations.
Because I know that he actually did create a whole actual
did the
functioning,
language. He
and
did the
he
language.
actually created Elvish to actually be a functional language.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
you
it's
could
a
actually
it's a
study it, learn it,
legit-
and
it's
you
a
could
legit
actually
language.
conversationally use Elvish. The man was absolutely amazing. His commitment to what he created was just unreal. Like, look at that. Bilbo,
No, he did.
That's what I thought. Bilbo woke with the early sun in his eyes. Look at that illustration.
He was a skilled artist who sketched, painted, and mapped the worlds that he was. So imagine the detail he put into the language. I'm sure he did the same
Like, look
with
at
the
this.
maps. Yeah,
It's insane.
the guy's legit. Like I know we just like ooh elves, ooh
He was.
orcs,
I
ooh,
always
but
think
the
of him
man
like
is
the Da
brilliant.
Vinci of writing.
Yeah, what do we call it? A polymath? Just when someone has like just. Like,
I don't know.
It's like a fancy term for Renaissance person.
They deserve whatever amazing title ever.
But yeah, that would have to be. This guy was the real deal. And plus, he was part of that really intellectual group from like the 20s, 30s, and 40s. The Bertrand Russells,
Yeah.
the Tolkiens, the C.S. Lewises.
The really expanding
there was a
people's
couple of
thinking and
gals.
perspective.
Virginia Woolf was also a part of that group, I believe.
Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Quite a few people. I think Nietzsche,
Nietzsche?
maybe Nietzsche was before their time.
I thought Nietzsche was more 1800, late 1800.
No, I think he was. I have to look.
Well, we can.
It all runs together.
We have the
with all
information
the-
at our fingertips.
One thing I did want to show as we wind down the streams, I think we'll probably stop here in about 20 minutes. We'll do 2-hour streams. Does that sound good? Maybe a little long. You want to start with like an hour?
I
and a half?
was right.
Oh yeah. He would have died before the.
He died in 1900, which means he would have been doing his work in the mid to late 1800s.
So-
I was right. I don't often get one right over the genius guy. So when I do, I gotta celebrate it obnoxiously.
And I personally love not knowing stuff because that means I get to go learn stuff, which is a
Yeah,
win for
poor
me.
losers. I'm a poor winner.
That's. I have no comment. Anyway, so here's.
Because he's been married 20 years.
Right,
he has
I
no
have
comment.
no comment. Anyway,
This is love.
this is our eBay store, and we have a lot of stuff on there, but that's not why we're here. We're here because I wanted to show you how expensive those two books are if they were not facsimiles.
Facsimiles. So for that cover, it's 200.
That's fifth printing,
Oh, snap.
so that matters. You like how he used first the word and then first with I'm a mess. Oh wow, it's only that can't be right, surely.
There we
Oh,
go.
here we go.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I guess signed too. Yeah.
So if you've got 14 grand laying around and you want it with a little bit with his signature, Vonnegut's signature and one of his doodles,
Look at that.
we just did the hard part for you and found it. Just click on there and grab it.
There you go.
Is that supposed to be a self-portrait or was he poking fun at Einstein?
So, no, that's what he looked like. That's kind of that was his vibe.
Oh, I love that.
It's hard about that there. That was his vibe.
Okay, but tell me that doesn't look like you could say that somebody was drawing a caricature of Einstein.
But that's kind of what older folks look like back
But be
then.
fair.
Out of context, I would like, and somebody told me that was Einstein.
Validate me.
You're validated. Be validated. You're validated. Good job. So anyway, that's a hella expensive book with dust jacket. Like I said,
Oh my god, he looks like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
a little bit. Yeah.
In that black and white
Yeah,
picture,
he
looks
does.
like he's got the Neil deGrasse Tyson
does.
haircut and like the kind of raised forehead, like you precious little squirrel.
Yeah, I see how the dust jacket's got kind of the browning. It's really hard to fake old stuff. Like, you can do it.
But that's what I was saying. Like the copy we have, like they tried to even give it that kind of old color. Like now that's the color of the dust jacket. It's not aged that color, but they tried to give it that aged look to try to stay.
Yeah, that's definitely a facsimile.
I like how they did that though. That was kind of trying to stay true.
I wish these guys would have photographed the back of the book. I hate when they don't photograph the back of the book. Anyway, so
and then the
Lord
Hobbit?
of the Rings. Oh, yeah, let's do the Hobbit.
The book you pulled out was the Hobbit.
And then right after the Hobbit, it was C.S. Lewis and the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
I've read that. That came out no way. It came out the same year.
You didn't put in.
Oh, wait a minute. Are these? Okay, the 1966 one is
Yeah,
the facsimile.
You didn't put in the first copy,
Okay,
first
first
edition.
print, first edition. You're right. You're always right.
No, it's not even close. Holy cat buckets. So if you have 24
1,000
to about 16 grand laying around, you can get a couple of those.
1937.
Look at that.
That's what it looks like, boys and girls.
That looks like it's embossed or even embroidered artwork on there. It almost looks embroidered, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a cloth cover.
It's a cloth cover.
binding.
That dragon on there almost looks like. I wonder, is that Smaug? I bet that's Smaug.
Yeah, that is that Smaug?
Yeah, Smaug was on The Hobbit.
Yes, you're right.
I'll bet that's
absolutely
Smaug.
right.
I really
So-
like that green 350 copy. Oh,
Yeah.
scroll down. Look at that next one. Ooh, that's pretty.
So no, and again, when you're on eBay, like if you I can list anything for any price, right? So if you come
Look
down
for what
over
it's actually sold
Yeah,
for,
so
what
if you-
someone's actually been willing to pay for it.
if you come down on the left hand side, you'll go to wow, these old. I think I have one of those copies outside. Nah, I would have kept it because that's cool art.
We have that black copy.
So here's the UK edition. So but you see how it's not a red circle?
Oh yeah, look at that. There's the red circle down there.
Yeah, the red circle was a big deal. This is what I've got. This anniversary.
I think that's just a
But
gorgeous
yeah.
copy of it. I love the coloring. It
The
kinda,
red
you know what it
circle
makes
was
me
a
feel
big deal.
It makes me feel like old Japanese watercolor art.
Like the ocean one.
Yeah, the big wave.
One. Yeah,
the big
wave.
tsunami wave.
Which
It
was a
gives
big
me
deal.
that feeling. But then with the red sun in it, I'm glad ours has the red sun on the cover. That's really pretty.
All right, close some of these tabs. Oh, remember we were talking about that? That seems like forever ago, doesn't it?
Because it was.
So that's really neat.
I like that ours has the red sun.
I think that's probably a good spot for us to end.
I think
don't have
so.
anything else to talk about, really.
I think so.
Today, maybe tomorrow. Now that we've done this once together, we'll kind of have a vibe.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did we do good?
I think we were a little all over the place today, but I think it was
That's
a good
normal.
trial run.
But I think that's the point of Twitch. is just
But I
kinda
think it's
chill
also
out.
an honest expectation. This is us.
See, like the difference, like between Twitch.
Less forgiving.
I'm presenting something to you, right?
I feel like I'm doing my class presentations.
Right, here's a script, here's a thing,
Which we are capable of.
there's a time and a place. I am making fun, but I'm not really making fun. But I think Twitch is more kind of like just this like banter, so.
Again, it's just the hangout spot, which is really kind of what we're wanting it to be. Informative, but just fun, laid back, chill, and just a place to just come be
Relax.
yourself with us being ourselves.
And learn random stuff about randomness stuff. So that means we have to just learn a bunch of stuff during the week, so we have something to talk about here.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks. So on that note, we're going to
What
go
a
learn
shame.
stuff. Oh, your camera's up there. I always
What a
forget.
shame.
I know, right? So, all right, man. That was fun. I'm going to go do like life stuff now.
I'm going to go take a nap.
You want to take a nap?
He made me a quesadilla this morning, and it was...
That's why I got the apron on. That and I baked cookies like a boss.
It was a quesadilla. That thing sat like a rock, but it was delicious. But between that and then talking for 4 days,
Oh, yeah, because you had the streams.
Kitty is sleepy. And then I had to do a live tutorial teaching stream last night.
Right.
And then
See, that
went
would be
to
for
bed.
YouTube.
And then I went to bed. And then I woke up. Oh my God, Harry.
He's an asshole. Harry is our cat. One of our cats. Harry's
He
an
is my
asshole.
baby.
He's an asshole.
And he is Harry from Harry Potter.
And he is an asshole.
And he has a brother named Ron, even though in the books and the movie Ron wasn't his brother, but I do have Ron. And he's a douchebag, yes. So, but he is my baby. He is my baby.
No, I like the guy.
But
let's-
he even pisses me off. And he was waking me up this morning because he gets so excited once he hears that I'm awake, and then he wants to come down and see me, and he wants to chat and chat and chat and chat, and he wants to play. He's my cat that plays fetch. Like, he legitimately, I lay in my bed, I throw his toy. He bolts after it like a dog chasing a tennis ball, grabs it, and hops up on the bed and drops it down for me and looks at me and waits for me to throw it back for him. And if I don't, he starts meowing at me.
The cat will pee on me to get to you.
Yes. So he loves me very much. But when he does come down, he's ready to like start just the day's like, Mom, guess what? I slept and then I woke up and I licked my feet and then I did this and then what are you doing? And it's nice to see you and I have a tail and these are my paws and meow, 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 meow. And I'm like, Harry. And then I forget that I'm trying to verbally rationalize in English with a cat. And then I get mad when he's not understanding and obeying me.
Cat needs to get his shit together.
And then I feel dumb and that makes me more annoyed at the cat and then annoyed at myself. And then I'm just up for the day. And that happened at like 4 in the morning.
Time has no meaning.
And then, so I did a stream. I did a teaching stream. I slept a little bit. I woke up and dealt with a cat and then worked on blinging some more things. Always new beautiful things coming. So, and then I came and did this, and I had a quesadilla and did this, and now I need a nap.
You need a nappy poo.
I need a nappy poo. My poor broken little squish needs a nap.
Well, what do I need? What do I need to do the rest of the day? I gotta do more listings.
I'm gonna take a nap and then continue blinging. He's gonna do listings.
Maybe I'll come back in game later.
Ooh.
Hour.
So.
Anyway. Until next time. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Or something tomorrow, whether it be me or you.
We shall see.
No commitment. All right. That's all I got. That's all you got. Do you want any parting words of wisdom?
We're on stuff.
I like it. We're in stuff.